of your communication is actually not verbal?
There are the words and what we say, but there is so much more than the communication, the verbal expression of what we have to say.
Let's think a moment how important communication is actually for us as human beings and why we chose that topic to bring to you today. Communication is very, very important.
Communication is everything. Communication moves us from one act in our life to the other. Communication is a base of our relationship. Without communication, no relationship exists.
We often believe that communication is purely verbal, but let's be honest, talking is never just enough.
Some researchers say we understand each other in 7% verbally. Some people say it's 12%, but any research that talked about communication relates to the very small percentages of understanding that comes from the verbal communication.
It gives you an answer why we often don't understand each other. Or, we try so hard to get the words correct. We try so hard to find the precise things. And then at the end of the day, we are still puzzled at our conversations, be it with our partner, with our child, with our employee, with our boss, or in any kind of other thing, and stand there and say, wait, something didn't work out. What was happening then is actually really interesting. Why didn't you get what was supposed to be an understandable conversation in this moment? We have the answer.
We can say that it's also many times we feel that we express so much and we don't get why other people don't get it. How come my partner doesn't realize what I try to communicate just by seeing me, just by feeling me, just by understanding the unverbal messages we gave.
And here, Vered gave you already the first clue of what needs to actually happen in order to understand somebody. You need to feel them. You need to get to actually have the focus on the person who is talking to you. You need to get a sense for how are they, what's their mood, because everything will get a different meaning according to how the person is talking to you. So it's not only about the words, it's about who is there conversing with you and of course what they want to converse, but it not only lies in the words, the information that you need to seek.
So what does it mean to feel another person? How do you realize another person? By feeling them. Many people relate to it as if it's the most challenging situation on earth.
Yes, rocket science. You need to read the facial expressions. You need to be aware if their body posture is like this, like that, like this, like that. You need suddenly kind of to feel their mood. You need to see their words. Kind of, it looks like if we put all of what you are supposed to listen to together as some impossible task that maybe some accomplished kind of person is able to do, but we are not. But at the end of the day, all of the reading of the different signs, we are learned to do right from the beginning. We have that with us. We believe that actually we just forget to tune this part on in the normal conversations with another person in order for us to help us. In order to actually notice somebody else, the most important part is 3.
So how do we do that?
One is it starts with you.
First of all, we need to feel us in order to feel another person. We need to be present in order to allow another person to be present in our perception.
And that's a twist in the turn. Who pays attention to themselves in order to feel somebody else? But if you are not present, if you are tired, if you are having no energy there or here, you will have a very hard time actually perceiving and focusing somebody else. So what are the easy tricks to do that? Deep breath. If you don't want to breathe like me, that's okay. You can do it in a more silent appearance. But to breathe, to move a little bit your body, to make sure that you are actually there in place, will ultimately help you focus on who is talking to you.
Sometimes even to move our eyes a little bit, to move away from the fixed position of our eyes, fixed way we perceive another person, would allow us to notice that another human being. They are talking in a different way, they express different things, they want different things, and this is what we are interested in, what they wish to express.
Let's say I even go so far and give you an example of me sitting in front of our tax accountant and they explain me the new regulations, and after, I don't know, 5 minutes, I was not able to understand any word anymore. How many of you would now try to follow the words? Many of us, we would believe that if we get the words right, we are understanding it. What I did in that moment was move a little bit in my chair, cross my legs differently, yes, take a deeper breath and actually focus on the person in front of me. Our tax accountant, very nice person, and she did a lot of effort to explain me what was there. I noticed actually her in there. And then I noticed, I can ask her to slow down. She noticed me, she communicated differently back, and we were out of the whole trick of not understanding anything, going towards, I finally get my tax done more happily.
Yes. However, communication, when part of what Claudia said now is truly a lot of what she said was interesting, but one thing caught my attention. When we notice the other person in a different way, when we change something in our way of listening, we give the other person the permission and the possibility to change something themselves.
Yes, like today in the morning. My son, of course, didn't want me to go to this beautiful shooting day. It's on a Saturday, he has different plans with mommy, and he was just standing there indoor and not understanding me, and I didn't understand him because we had already a deal that I could go. So he was saying, "Mommy, stay, I come with you shooting," all of this. And I just heard the tonation of his voice and I lost already all of my words, and I tried to convey something different in the communication. I really hate to leave just to leave with the shouting and different ones. So also there, I actually focused on my little man there. I made sure that I'm not yet out of the door, that my kind of attention is not already running 5 steps forward. I put a hold, I took a breath, I actually even kneeled down on his side and I started to talk to him from this position, being at myself centered and then paying attention to him. When I noticed him, I noticed, of course, he needed to go through that because he simply wanted to tell me how much he loves me and ultimately wishing me a good day. This change allowed that to happen.
The second part is realizing the person. Again, not only what they say, but realize everything they are, feeling them, noticing them, realizing the setting they are in, the sound they create, the tonation they have.
Now, this sounds maybe again like rocket science and a lot of things to do, but you can do that simply, yes, by focusing your attention on the other person. And then we come to the third part. Ask yourselves the question, what do they actually say beyond the words? What is there in the communication that will allow me to see who is the other person? What do they wish to say? Are the words matching with what I feel or perceive from the other person? And if I'm managing to do that in a communication, I get much more information that is conveyed than just the words.
So if I feel me, if I'm present, and then I notice the other person's presence, and then I'm truly asking myself in an active way, what do they communicate? It would allow me to listen much beyond the verbal communication. All in all, when communication doesn't happen so perfectly, remember to pay attention to the person and what they actually want to say, not only to what verbally is being communicated.
And also remember that you know how to do this. This is nothing that you need to kind of relearn. It is there already in you. And actually each time trust that your feelings will not betray you, that you notice who this other person is. And there the simple step is really center yourself, look at the other person, feel them, and see what magic it can do to your communication skills.
Please come back and tell us and share with us what were your experiences, how did it work for you? We would be incredibly happy to hear from you. You are welcome to leave your remarks, your comments, your feedback in the comments below.